Hi friends, welcome to the Safe Paws Veterinary Services. In this video, we are going to discuss about an introduction of female reproductive system. If we are going to talk about the parts of reproductive system from the exterior to the anterior, it consists of the vulva or the external genitalia, the vagina, the cervix and the uterine body, uterine horns and fallopian tubes and ovary. In this picture, you can see the different parts of the reproductive system. You can see the the posterior most vagina, and then the cervix, which isolates the uterus from the vagina, and then the uterine body and uterine horns, bifurcation between the uterine horns and the ovary. If we talk about the histological structures of the female reproductive system, from the lumen to the outside, it is composed of four layers. The interior most mucosa, that composed of epithelium, and the next the submucosa, that is consisting of the nerve supply and the vasculature, and next is the muscular layer that helps in the contraction of the reproductive system, and the serosa, that is again an epithelial layer. The serosa, it is the outermost covering of the reproductive system, is a single layer of the squamous epithelium. The muscularis, that is the double layer of muscle. It has the ability to contract. It helps in the transport of sperm and secretions, it helps in the fetus expulsion. Submucosa, that is the house of the blood vessels, nerves supplies and the lymphatics. Mucosa, that is the anterior most layer, and it is the secretory layer. Each part of the tract has different epithelium depending on the type of functions. Reproductive tract development, if we talk about it, the reproductive tract develops retroperitoneally, mean it develops behind the peritoneum during the embryo development. Peritoneum is a connective tissue surrounding the abdomen. As the embryo grows, it pushes the peritoneum and a portion of it fuses to form double layer of connective tissue sheet supporting ovary, oviduct, uterus, cervix, and anterior vagina. This type of support is termed as broad ligament. This broad ligament houses the vascular supply, lymphatic drainage, and the nerves. If we talk about the component of the broad ligament that had developed during the development of a fetus, it is mesoovarium, mesosalpinx, and mesometrium. The broad ligament, if we talk about the mesoovarium, that attaches to and supports the ovary. There is a attachment between the ovary and the uterus that is termed as the utero-ovarian ligament or the proper ligament of ovary. Next part is the mesosalpinx, that is serous part of broad ligament that covers the salpinx, also forms a bursa-like sac around the ovary, helps to direct infundibulum so that the ova release should have high probability to get into oviduct. Next part is the mesometrium that supports the uterine horn and body of the uterus. Dorsal part is continuous with the dorsal peritoneum. Thus uterus hangs with the dorsal body wall due to mesometrium. In this picture, you can take an overview of the reproductive system of a cow. Its different structure. You can see the vagina, the cervix and its structure, uterine body, and the position of the ovary in the dorsal and lateral view. Similarly, this picture shows the reproductive system of the sow, its different parts, and its dorsal and lateral view. You can see the position of ovary, the uterine horns, and the uterine body, and the vagina and cervix. This picture shows the reproductive system of the mare in the lateral and dorsal view. You can see the kind of cervix in it, the vagina and the uterus, and the position of reproductive tract respective to the digestive system or the rectum. And this picture depicts the reproductive system of the bitch from the lateral and dorsal view, and this is the picture of the reproductive system of the queen. If we talk about the reproductive system from the anterior side, the first component of the reproductive system is the ovary. This is the part of female reproductive system with the main function of the production of the female gametes that are we termed as ova. Its outermost covering is the tunica albuginea, that is the outer connective tissue layer. Tunica albuginea is covered by a single layer of the cuboidal cells, germinal epithelium, just name, nothing to do with the germ cell. Tunica albuginea is covered by a single layer of the cuboidal cells. The germinal epithelium that is just named germinal epithelium, that has nothing to do with the germ cell. Next is the ovarian cortex that houses the oocyte, also contain corpus luteum and corpus albicans. Corpus luteum is the functional corpus and the corpus albicans is the degenerating CL. Corpus luteum is a yellowish body that is the functional corpus luteum and had produced P4, and corpus albicans that is degenerating corpus luteum and the white scar that contains the connective tissue. The anterior most part of the ovary is the ovarian medulla, the central part of the ovary, and houses the vasculature, nerves, and lymphatics. In the case of male, there is some difference that we discuss later on. In this picture you can see the development of the different developmental stages of the follicles on the surface of the ovary. The primordial follicle, next the primary follicle, secondary follicle, and the development of antrum in the follicle, that is developing antral, and the antral follicle or the tertiary follicle. Next is the ovulation. After ovulation is the development of corpus luteum and the degeneration of the corpus luteum, that is termed as corpus albicans. That is the whole cycle of the development of a follicle and its degeneration into corpus albicans. And this picture shows the tertiary follicle and corpus luteum on the surface of ovary and the germinal epithelium. Corpus luteum is shown in this picture as the protrusion on the surface of ovary with a pit on its center. In the case of mare, there are some exceptions, there is a reverse order of cortex and medulla. The medulla is in the outer side and the cortex is in the central side. Ovulation has only one site, that is ovulation fossa, while in the other animals like sheep, goat, or cow, the ovulation can take place at any point of the ovary. Corpus luteum is not palpable, instead follicular palpable. Corpus luteum is not palpable because it is present on the medulla, and that is on the inner side of the ovary. This is the end of our video. If you got it informative, please subscribe our channel and like the video. Thank you very much.